A fascination with knives, a frustration with women, and a long history of severe mental illness. Today, more shocking details have emerged about the murderer behind Bondi's mass stabbing, which left 6 dead and a nation reeling.
This is so horrendous that I can't even explain it.
Under the weight of a nation's grief, the parents of 40-year-old Bondi knifeman Joel Cauchi appeared outside their Toowoomba home.
I'm so sorry about what our son has done. If he was in his right mind, he would be absolutely devastated.
They'd been worried about their son since high school, when he was diagnosed with schizophrenia at 17. Since then, he'd been taking medication, but in recent years, after doctors thought he was doing better, he stopped. They never expected it would end like this. The family recognising Joel as the horror unfolded, contacting police.
This is a parent's absolute nightmare when they have a child with mental illness.
Tributes pouring in today for the 6 victims killed in his mass stabbing spree at Bondi Junction.
We're shocked and traumatised and heartbroken.
It's a place of love, of fun, of peace, and it was shattered by this just incomprehensible act of cruelty and violence.
The 6th victim identified as 27-year-old Chinese international student Yixuan Chen. She'd called her fiancé moments before the attack to show him the outfits she was trying on.
Families are in mourning today. Lives have been devastated as a result of these criminal actions.
8 people remain in hospital. But in some good news, the 9-month-old baby whose mum was killed trying to save her looks like she'll pull through.
In the darkest of times comes sometimes the brightest of lights, and I was delighted to be informed that she's moved from critical to serious.
Police are now looking at whether Cauchi was deliberately targeting women.
The gender breakdown here is concerning, and New South Wales Police have said that they're looking at that as part of the investigation here.
The videos speak for themselves, don't they? It's obvious to detectives. That seems to be an area of interest, that the offender had focused on women and avoided the men.
He wanted a girlfriend, and he's got no social skills. And he was frustrated out of his brain.
As questions emerge about how such an unwell man was able to slip through the cracks.
And we spend billions on mental health every year, but if it's going to the right places, if it's spent in the right way, if the quantum is enough, will be the focus of our inquiry.
To you, he's a monster. To me, he was a very sick boy. He was a very sick boy.
And then, of course, there's the mental wellbeing of everyone watching on as this story unfolds. Georgie Harman is the CEO of Beyond Blue and is with us now. Georgie, this is an unthinkable tragedy. How as a nation do we even begin to process a terrible event like this?
Look, I think the thing to first say is that if you're having all these feelings, and they're big feelings for many people, it's actually really normal and natural to feel them. So don't beat yourself up about it. You know, be a friend to yourself and be a friend to those around you. The biggest and I think the most powerful thing we can do right now is to turn to each other and find those social connections. Spending time with your mates, spending time with your family, watching a silly movie, going for a walk. If you've got a dog, you know, give it a scratch behind its ears. These are the things that just provide those little moments of relief and remind us that actually these are very rare events. In terms of what we do with these feelings, we keep an eye on them. We do all those things to look after ourselves and each other, and they will pass for most of us. But don't feel afraid to reach out for support as early as possible. The moment you start to think that actually this is hanging around for a bit longer than I like.
Georgie, we saw the amazing photograph of the father with the 2 small children where he'd covered their eyes with masks. Is there some message in that about protecting younger children from hearing too much and seeing too much of this?
Yeah, look, absolutely. And it's sometimes, Steve, it's really difficult to protect our kids from this stuff when it's everywhere. The 24/7 news cycle, you know, social media, they will find a way or inadvertently see stuff that we don't want them to see. And we can't bubble wrap them, you know, but what we can do is be prepared to help them to learn how to respond to great tragedies like this. And they'll look to us and they'll watch us and they'll see how we're actually processing our own emotions. So be ready for those questions. Don't disencourage them. as a family, sit down and actually talk about it and use really plain, simple, honest language. It's actually okay to say to kids, look, we don't know why this happened. We may never know why this happened. I don't have the answers, but you are safe. Mum and dad are safe, or your parents, your family's safe. And these are very rare events, and focus on the helpers. Focus on these incredible acts of courage and bravery that bring us together and make us our best selves as people.
Georgie, thanks so much for helping guide us through something like this. It's really a terrible time, but it's great to hear your voice on it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.